So here we are in beautiful Tórshavn, capital of the Faroe Islands, the world's smallest national capital. Population, I think, 19,000, although the country recently had its 50,000th and first citizen, so they're all very excited about that. And today we have a chance to go into town, meet with a local chef who specializes in dried and fermented foods, and he's going to hook us up with a snack to bring back on board for our guests. So let's go.
Hey!
Chef, hi, Francis. Nice to meet you.
Welcome
Chef
to
Ronnie.
Restaurant Rust.
This is Chef Ronnie. This is the chef on our ship.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for bringing this with us. Yeah.
I had the opportunity to get in touch with a local chef named Kari Christensen, who has a new restaurant that's all dedicated to traditional fermented Faroese food. And this, I mean, I was here 4 years ago, and this restaurant didn't exist, the restaurant next to it didn't exist, the restaurant next to that didn't exist. So there is like this sort of small, it's a tiny town, but there's a real boom in the restaurant scene here. And what's exciting is it's focused on Faroese tradition and taking these ancient traditions and showing them to the world in a new way. So Chef Kari was able to get for us a traditional Faroese snack of air-dried cod. So it's sort of feathery, it's not like a chip, but it's not salted. It's just sort of this really light, almost delicate cod.
Just with the butter. Yeah. Faroese people like to have a lot of butter.
So tonight guests on board have a chance to try this traditional Faroese dried cod. And it has a mild flavor because there's hardly any salt, just the salt that landed on it from the sea spray. And you smear it with butter and it's kind of fishy goodness.
Yeah, we boil. This is.
I'm super excited for dinner tomorrow night because a fisherman that I met while I was last year in the Faroes has agreed to supply the ship with some of his seafood. And Faroese seafood is hands down some of the best in the world. And in particular, the langoustines are really regarded as the finest langoustines in the world. So sweet, almost like, I remember the first time I tasted a real Faroese langoustine and it tasted sweet like cabbage and onions are sweet. Now those are really humble foods, right? But they're pure in their sweetness, and that's what the langoustine is like. And when you get them from these waters and they're cold, their flesh is so crisp. I'm so excited to get to share that with the guests. And I think this is such an extraordinary thing that we're able to do. You go to a port in a place that people have never been and to have the opportunity to call someone up locally and say, hey, can you bring us some of the good stuff? Like, that's awesome. I'm so excited to come back on board and see what other parts of this wild, beautiful, delicious planet Lindblad goes to.